$150,000 a year, 2 working adults, 2 children. Under MIT's basic needs model, that income falls about $4,700 below the modeled threshold in New York, but sits more than $40,000 above the same threshold in Dallas. That does not make $150,000 poor. And this is not a prediction of a real family's bank balance. It is a comparison of the same household against the same basic needs model in 3 different places. Same family, same income, 3 cities. Which costs create the breathing room? And why does a high salary still fail to guarantee wealth? We're going to hold the household constant and move it through New York, Los Angeles, and Dallas. First, we will build the New York cost floor. Then we will find the expenses that push Los Angeles close to the line while giving Dallas a much wider margin. And finally, we will test the strongest objection. Are high earners facing structural pressure? Or are they simply spending too much? The answer changes how we should think about 6-figure salaries and about wealth itself. Start with New York, Newark, Jersey City. For this household type, MIT estimates about $32,500 a year for housing and about $34,400 for childcare. Those 2 categories alone total $66,831. Before food, before healthcare, before transportation, before taxes. That is the first important shift in the story. The largest pressure is not an exotic purchase. It is the cost of keeping a 2-income household functioning, somewhere to live, and care for 2 children while both adults work. Medical costs, food prepared mainly at home, transportation, internet, clothing, household supplies, and other basic categories push the after-tax budget to $126,796. After estimated income and payroll taxes, MIT's required gross income figure is $154,658. The household earns $150,000, so the model threshold is $4,658 higher. Again, that is not a real account balance. A family's neighborhood, employer benefits, children's ages, taxes, debt, and family support can change the result. But the model reveals the height of the local floor before retirement contributions, emergency savings, long-term investing, or regular restaurant spending enter the picture. A salary can look large nationally and still leave very little room locally. Now move the same household to Los Angeles. Housing is slightly higher than New York in this comparison. Childcare is lower. Transportation is higher. The required gross income figure is $146,340. That leaves $3,660 above the modeled threshold, about $305 a month. Positive but narrow. Now move the family to Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington. Here is the surprise. Transportation is not cheaper. At $15,269, it is the highest of the 3 metros in this model. So why is the final result so different? Housing and childcare. Together, those 2 categories are more than $23,000 lower than in New York. Dallas's required gross income figure is $109,829 against the same $150,000 income. That creates a modeled margin of $40,171. Put the 3 results side by side. New York is below the model floor. Los Angeles is barely above it. Dallas is materially above it. The New York to Dallas difference is $44,829 a year. The result was visible at the beginning. Now we know what creates it. Not every Dallas cost is lower. 2 large fixed categories, housing and childcare, change the entire amount of flexibility available to the household. That flexibility can help absorb a broken car, a medical bill, or a period without work. It can also create the opportunity to build assets. But opportunity is not the same as guaranteed savings. At this point, the fairest objection is obvious. Maybe the problem is not the economy. Maybe high earners simply spend too much. Sometimes they do. A larger home, 2 new car payments, private school, premium travel, constant delivery, and recurring upgrades can make almost any salary feel insufficient. High income can hide weak decisions because the next paycheck keeps the system running. But that explanation is incomplete here. MIT's model is built around a defined set of basic needs. It does not include regular restaurant meals, vacations, emergency savings, retirement contributions, or long-term investments. Luxury cars and private school are not MIT budget lines. They're examples of lifestyle expansion outside the model. At the same time, the model is not destiny. A real family might choose a smaller home, live farther from the city center, receive childcare help from relatives, have stronger employer benefits, or no longer need full-time care as the children get older. So the first reversal is this. The data does not prove that every family earning $150,000 is struggling. It shows that location and family structure can establish a very high cost floor before lifestyle inflation begins. Structural costs create the pressure. Personal choices determine whether the remaining margin survives. Both can be true at the same time. This is why six figures has become a misleading shortcut. The number is precise. The life it can purchase is not. $150,000 for one adult with no children in a moderate cost city is a different financial product from the same income supporting two adults and two children in a high-cost metro. Yet people still attach a fixed image to the number. A comfortable home, reliable cars, vacations, retirement contributions, and money left over. The salary is only one side of the equation. The other side is the cost of participating in a particular place. Housing connected to work, childcare that allows both adults to remain employed, health coverage, transportation. A second income can raise gross earnings while also creating costs that make the second job possible. That does not mean the second job is a mistake. It means gross income can exaggerate the increase in usable financial capacity. Nationally, $150,000 is a high household income. The 2024 national median was $83,730. Locally, the same income may create little margin for this particular household. And financially, it may or may not create wealth. All three statements can be true. Now we reach the distinction that changes the story. Income is a flow. Wealth is a stock. Income tells you how much money arrives during the year. Wealth tells you what remains after spending, what you own after subtracting what you owe, and how much choice you have if the paycheck stops. Imagine two households earning the same $150,000. One converts every raise into larger fixed commitments. Its income rises, but its dependence on the next paycheck rises with it. The other protects part of the margin, builds cash reserves, reduces expensive debt, contributes to retirement accounts, and purchases assets. The salaries can be identical while the balance sheets move in opposite directions. The Dallas result illustrates an opportunity, not a forecast. A real family will not automatically preserve the entire $40,000 model margin. Debt, taxes, choices, and expenses outside the model still matter. But a wider margin creates options. An emergency fund, retirement contributions, debt reduction, investments, a home down payment in a high-cost location. The same household may need larger trade-offs simply to create any investable margin. That leads to the central idea. The real question is not how much you earn. It is how much of your income becomes wealth. Income creates the possibility. Margin creates the capacity. Assets create resilience. And resilience creates options. So why does $150,000 no longer feel rich? Because it is an income number, not a guarantee of purchasing power, financial security, or wealth. It remains high compared with the national household median. But for two working adults raising two children in a high-cost metropolitan area, housing, childcare, healthcare, transportation, and taxes can consume nearly all of it before long-term wealth building begins. In a lower-cost metro, the same income can create much more room above the basic needs floor. The honest answer is not that $150,000 has become poor. It is that the number alone no longer guarantees the security, flexibility, and asset building people associate with being rich. And that raises the next question. If income does not tell us who is wealthy, what does? In the next video, we will break down the 7 levels of wealth in America, from financial fragility to financial independence, and show where income, savings, assets, and time actually place you.